I think it's another way to say grounded, okay? Because we are living in the present, and we are living in ways that have to do with our body and our direct experience. And I don't have such a difficult time with the idea of attachment or even identification. It's a temporary thing. I'm a psychotherapist, okay? I'm an American, I'm a man, those are all true. Where we get into trouble is over-identification, when that's so important to me that becomes a limitation for me. I actually think it's important that we make attachments, okay? That we honor the truth of what it feels like to have been with someone in the kind of ways we are now, or in other ways that say, this is the kind of experience I like to have, And I think it keeps us in the real world, If I'm doing a painting, I'm picking a color. Am I attached to that color? Yeah, I picked it for a reason. Am I over-attached? Well, maybe, if I can't, think of what it might be if it's something different, This is the subtlety, but I think an important subtlety is when we allow ourselves to flow, we're going to stay grounded in the realness of our experiences as we're having them. And we could call that a kind of an attachment.
With regards to your question, it's so funny because I had this experience here in Hoi An, because I've been wandering and all this stuff, so I really didn't had strong relationships with people, especially with intimate partners. Like, I have friends from a long time ago up until now, but our relationship as friends is just on and off. Like, we can barely talk for 6 months, even a year, but every time we reconnect, we can still catch up wherever we left. So when I got here, I had this strong mentality. I don't know, like, I wanted to intentionally connect with people who I can resonate with. Maybe this is also something that protects my peace, over protecting myself so much that I don't want to maybe this is an ego also, I don't understand. But when you mentioned about it, I met a person, and then I totally had this feeling that I cannot attach myself to a person, but if I like the person, I should consciously attach myself to the person. So I tried to consciously attach myself, but then I was asking myself also, like, what's the intention behind this? Why does it add to your sense of worth? Do you seek for a validation, like an exchange of energy? What's wrong here, Kathy? Like, and then I realized that I'm overthinking too much. It's all about being human. It's all about being grounded and just living the way how I feel, and enjoying the moment, enjoying the present. So all these attachment things, it feels like you just have to ask yourself, like, does it add to my sense of self? Does it add to my sense of worth right now? You mentioned about consumerism earlier, and also when you mentioned that word, the sense of self-worth word came to my mind. Like, these are a way of somewhere, an entity to tell people that they're not enough, how they look, what they have. It's because they don't have this and that. So they're targeting the worthiness of these people, and if they have a low sense of that feeling, then of course they will gather a lot to feel good. But then if you feel like you're enough, you're okay, self-acceptance, you're there, you intentionally choose things, it's because you're happy about it. It adds like a beautiful color to the canvas that you are painting. It's not because out from you need it. I need it to feel good about myself. So, yeah, maybe the intention. That's a long thing, but it seems like attachment or exchange of energy. Sometimes we use the word benefit, but I see it like as an exchange of energy, because we all are, for me, we all have this energetic field, and we always give. But if we always give, we'll be drained. So it's also like give and take. But what's your intention behind it? Yeah.
That's a good point. The intention, the layer that is behind. To ask yourself, what is the intention when you are creating that connection with someone, or even with something?
Something. Yeah, so true.
And whether, and then be able to gain the kind of insight that we can ask, is that a need that's being unfulfilled that I'm trying to meet? So you mentioned validation, and so many of our relationships are coming from the place of disempowerment or, dominance, either extreme, powerful or disempowered, and so we're living out something rather than intentionally or consciously bringing that. And I think, and of course we're close to the end of our time, so it's opening up a door to a big topic actually. But intimacy or closeness is I think one of the greater challenges because of life, because we want, everyone on some level feels a natural inclination towards wanting people to be very close to us and to share physically and sexually in other ways, but also there's the danger of sort of losing ourselves in that shared space, because it's quite intimate and close. And I think this is something that is very important for these conversations, because how we navigate that, what does it mean to attach but not over attach, or to trust but not overly trust, or trust naively. These are part of I think the conversation we're having. And when I think in terms of what we're coming from, my answer to that is needs-based. Okay, so book number 3 is called The Needs of Childhood and the Tasks of Adulthood, and we've already discussed it as reparenting our inner child, this. And I think until we've sort of looked at that, then until we've kind of understood within ourselves which needs are we still trying to meet, it's going to be difficult to navigate relationships, okay? Because those needs are going to creep into the relationships we have. It doesn't mean, okay, first get all your needs met, then you can sign up for a relationship, no.
This is what my I've been telling myself. I know it's not true, but I'm still using it as an excuse not to enter relationships. I have to satisfy all of my needs first. Of course, it's not happening. I mean, I'm coming to realize that it's never gonna fully happen.
Well, and in fact, the risk we take and the mistakes we make are the places where we learn, okay? And so it's the relationships, is being willing to step into a relationship, even when we know that there's gonna, because that's where we can navigate this. If we stand too far back and we say, okay, I'm gonna wait until I'm perfect or I meet the perfect person, then we miss out on that humanness, that messiness, and it's okay. And we can handle it. We can handle this pain, but we can handle it. It's the risk of love, actually. Love isn't the solution. It's in terms of escape. It's a solution in terms of bringing the pain into our experience in such a way that we can we can grapple with what matters. And it's painful. Love is a painful thing. And so let's try not to be afraid of that, you know. And we get both of, yeah, we suffer from that, you know, but it makes life rich. It's the richness of life comes from our willingness to do the hard things. And so
This dialogue is getting interesting. But we only have like less than 10 minutes left. So if you can add something that's in your mind, a question or a reflection that you wanted to add on the table, let's bring it up. Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that I'm gonna miss the next chapter that is gonna be about love. But yeah, I think it's a super interesting topic, how painful can be love, but how worth it as well, like especially with partners, but with friendships, like how to build that intimacy also with super close friends and experience pain and discussions.
Do you have something to add on the last bits of our conversation, Eva?
So actually it started, so in the beginning, Douglas, you said that we're all essentially alone, and I mean, I can, well, I want to say I agree with that, but I don't mean just cognitively. That's also what I've been reflecting on maybe for the past couple of months, that even in intimacy we are still alone. So for me it's still a huge challenge, and you know, just very recently I bumped into it again, that it's hard for me to differentiate between merging, like fusing with a person, versus establishing intimacy. I don't know, I mean, I'm struggling with building close relationships without merging, and I guess that it's the question of boundaries. Like, how do I stay individuated? How do I not just fuse with another person? Because I also have a pretty high empathy naturally, I guess, so it's easy for me to get all confused about, you know, what I'm feeling, what the other person is feeling. And yeah, this is definitely what I would like to talk about more and explore more, because for me personally it's very important. I guess it's one of the major challenges in life in terms of building relationships with people. And I guess another thing is that I used to conceptualize it like this. So either I'm together with somebody, and I don't even mean romantically, I've never really tried that, but like as a friend, say, or as a family member. So I can be together with them, like fused, and if I don't want to lose myself, I need to step out completely and to isolate myself, like not just to be alone, but to sort of alienate myself completely. And the thing is that you know, this realization that even if I'm close with somebody, I'm still going to be alone, it's kind of hard to accept. I mean, emotionally, because I don't think I have a lot of experience of, you know, being alone together. I believe that's the name of one of your books, right? And that's such a profound concept.
This is the paradox, because while I certainly stand behind that idea of our aloneness and our isolation, I also believe that there's a remarkable kind of connection that we can feel, and those aren't mutually exclusive. They actually fit together when we do realize our separateness, okay, and we see the other as unique and whole, then we can find what that is, and the communication that keeps us from losing ourselves in the other, or some kind of power dynamic where we're either dominant or submissive or something, and we can hold the space. And in many ways it's ephemeral, I don't know if that's the right word. It's less concrete, okay? In some ways it also has to do with is what we believe and what we trust. Words that aren't literal in terms of how we know something. So, yeah, here we are, sort of at the beginning of the end, But I think let's each take a minute and just reflect back over the last hour and a half, and make just a comment about what today has brought up or something.
I could start something. Based on the dialogue that we have right now, we have tackled a lot of stuff that is actually out from the box. When, like attachment, love, there's a lot more, but it also laid down the next topic for the next dialogue, which is your second book, Alone Together. Right. So, because this is, as what you've said, a huge, I feel like also for me, it's a huge challenge to find myself being with community and not lose myself, especially with partnership, because I just had a recent experience, and then I noticed myself like, I'm losing myself, I have to detach myself. So it's a constant conscious battle. So this dialogue kind of like cleared up a huge question in my head when it comes to having being human. Just being human, and you can't be, this is just my personal perspective, but it seems like although we have our childhood needs, but if we are going to take that one as a bucket list to finish everything before we can actually have a beautiful connection to not just in partnerships but also in friendships, it's a challenge. It's just for my personal take, and it's wonderful, especially thank you so much for being here with us, because you also gave us this concept of the healthy attachment and the exchanges. So thank you, Anoa.
Thank you. Maybe I can continue. For me it's been very interesting that no matter if you cross the wall, like from Sweden to Vietnam, that you arrive into a living room and you share exactly the same thoughts and the same questions about life, that makes you feel very home. Like, I had been here for just 5 days, but it feels already like a home with this conversation, because we all go through the same. So, it's been super interesting.
It's such a nice word, home, because it represents safety, groundedness, connection. It's like arrival in a way. And while we're here at a crossroads where none of us is permanently part of this, that feeling is one we can have internally, and we can rest there. Okay, we can rest in knowing that we don't know, knowing that it's messy, knowing that we're human, knowing that it's okay, and that we learn as we go. And there's going to be pain. I don't think life is going to be easy. I don't even like the idea of happiness, okay? Because, we might feel that now and then. But for me, if it's okay, okayness is a pretty good aspiration, like if it's okay, then I'm okay. So, but taking away, there feels to me like a connection just because we showed up in a very real and honest way, and there's an elation of the experience, okay, of being together and having a door open that says, you can just sit and talk, and we haven't worried too much about the cameras on us. I think maybe we did, but Yeah, I feel very good, and thank you. Thank you for joining us, kind of without knowing too much. Thank you for continuing to show up in your very real way and offer the questions and challenges that you are facing. Thank you for all the parts, the hosting and the depths of your own exploration. And
That's me.
yeah, yeah.
You brought up a very good topic for the
Next time?
Home.
Home, love, we got a lot.
I have something in mind, Eva.
Well, about today, yeah, thank you for, again, creating this, hosting, creating this space. I was a little bit, I feel like maybe 1/3 of a conversation, it was difficult for me to bring the clarity in my thoughts, and I think I was detaching a bit, and I think that the topic of this discussion today is like a part of integrating something that I'm going through now. And yeah, as always, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
So that's the end of dialogue number 6. I'm so happy for us to gather here today, and thank you so much. That's it.
He said, peace out.
Peace out.